Right. Right, let's get started on implementing our message queue into our actual application. Right, first of all, I have this model for uploading documents. I want some sort of, because we're now processing the documents asynchronously in a message queue, I want some sort of status so I know how the document process is ongoing. So let's copy, this looks like it will work, so let's have a little play around with it. So these are our choices: uploaded, processing, completed, and error. Just copy this. Instead of uploaded, I'm going to put completed because I've already got stuff in the database which has been processed. Right. Okay. Right, let's migrate these changes. Let's make migrations. And then right, okay, that's the database migrations done. Right, now it's time to put our logic for uploading the document data to ChromaDB inside a task. I'm gonna try and just let the camera roll and just try and see how it goes, because normally I try and plan my next move. I kind of know what I need to do, but so this is the view code. So this is what processes the document and saves it into the database just on the Django side, and then in the ChromaDB side it's this function here which uploads it to the ChromaDB so it uploads all the vectors and stuff. So this has to go inside a task, but also some like this as well. Not all of it actually, just the end ID. Because at the moment, this is how I track, because I've got one user has many documents, and I track the IDs of the embeddings with this table here. So when a user deletes a document, I know which IDs to delete in the ChromaDB. So, but let's have a look. End ID. I think this can be null by default. So what we'll do. We have this. It has to be I'm pretty sure it has to be in a task file, and it's better if we put it in a task file, because then it's a task, not rather than helpers. Right, what do we need all this stuff? Let's just all this. We don't need this anymore. let's not return this. We don't need to return this anymore. So we just need to do some sort of like just update some of the logic, because we're going to be updating the database outside of the request response. So let's pass in a document ID which we get from this, so I can get access to the document. It's always better to just pass an ID rather than the whole model. Right, let's have a look. Let's call it document PK, and then in here what is it? It's gonna be the wrong fucking. It's gonna be the wrong thing, isn't it? Right. Let's change up this from library.tasks import. What's it? So, right. Now that task will have the update from that. I don't need this anymore. And I'm pretty sure I don't need this try. I won't need this try except block anymore, because it doesn't really need to handle if there's an exception, to be honest. We'll just have some sort of thing on the front end which says whether it's failed or not. So let's get rid of all this. What is it? So I'll just, there you go. Also, if anybody actually watches this, I'm not really going to explain Celery and how to call tasks and stuff, because I'm sure there's other stuff on the internet. I'm just showing you like a real life use case for this sort of stuff. And then maybe you've got a project or something and you're experiencing something similar, you can actually see that it works, and then just do your own research, because it's kind of hard to, because if I was to explain from the beginning about Celery and message queues, it's a really long video in itself, and you'd have to, like before that simple task, it's best to show you with a simple task, not saying that this is exceptionally complex, but it's just, alright, we don't need this anymore. Okay. We also need libdoc.status. What is the status? We're going to do uploaded, right? Let's get some login. Let's see. We'll do that just for the moment, just so it doesn't error out. I'm not sure this would work, but it's not really. But definitely we'll figure out some way of being able to read the Celery logs, because they can be useful. Right, let's get going. Let's try and get this task working. So I've been doing a little bit of so basically I just asked for Celery task for a Django app. How can you do database commits inside the task? Do I have, right, first of all, we need this. This gives you access to the Django's transaction, database transaction. Like that. It says to do this, import it inside the task. So we'll do that. There we go. I'm gonna try and use this inside a big try block. Right, let's try. Document equals models. So this will get the document. Right, so like that. It's dot objects, I think. Dot something like that. That should get the document. And maybe we'll get the document embeddings as well. Just so we have access to that. We don't need this, but we do need like that. Because the documents update, this document embedding is sort of a foreign key, so I need this document first before getting this right. Let's have a look. So try with transaction.atomic. Okay. All this crap in here. Quite hard to talk about what you're thinking. Something like that maybe. And then raise section like that. Try again. I don't know what, yeah, that should be, okay. Basically, I'm getting the document, but I want to kind of like check. I want to get these first, and if there's a failure, then go out the task straight away. This transaction is just for like update in the database. Like say you're, say you need to update a value in the database, which I'm going to do. So basically, document dot status. So what is it? Processing or something. So now inside this task, I'll just so now we're inside the task and we've got this document. I'll just say now it's processing. Do all this crap. Accept. Right, if there's a whole problem with the task, let's raise that. Not document not found, just raise the exception so I can see what's going on. Right. Else. Let's do this. Let's so if the task runs successfully, and then document dot status, is it finished? Completed. Maybe this needs to be inside this. Maybe it's better inside there. Try accept. So yeah, we'll put it inside this transaction.atomic block. Okay. Yeah. Very basic thing. So first of all, we get the document and the embeddings. If we can't get it, we just raise an exception. Then we get the document, we say it's now processing. We then do the ChromaDB stuff. We get the client and we get the collection, or create the collection. We then open the PDF and split it. We get all the list of IDs, and then this is the thing that puts into the ChromaDB, and it will use like this embedding function from OpenAI to turn like the bits of to turn the chunks of text into like vectors, which is how a vector DB stores the data for use in like similarity searches and stuff. Okay. Alright, this looks like it's done for this one.